always have the perfect way to say I love you, to say I'm here to say I'll always be around. I wouldn't have it any other way now. I see the world you're carrying. I see it, I see the world. Let me share the heaviness. Oh, won't you just share? You say I love you, you say I'm here to say I'll pick you off the ground. Wouldn't have it any other way now. And if all my things were broken.
Hey friends, how are you? Welcome back. Monday. Hopefully you have all had a great weekend. I'm looking at my kitty trying to get underneath my sewing. Oh, so game day. I don't know what it is about my ironing board, but this is where they all want to lay. The iron is off. The iron is off. But this is where they all want to lay, and I have no clue. So, Sunday, let's see. Friday I think I showed you the pictures of Friday's clue. Saturday's clue came out, and got that all done. And then Sunday's clues 6, 7, and 8 all came out. I was feeling pretty good. This will be the first year I'll get a game day with top done on the day that it comes out. And everything was going so good till I started sewing it together. And we could not figure it out. Things were not lining up with the sashing. So sashing just means you have a block, and then you have like white, some type of color that goes on either side and around, so it sashes it, it blocks it out. And I'd show you, but she's sitting on it. So it was too long. It was the strips should be 25 and a half cut, which they were. And then when you sewed all the other pieces together, it shrunk it down. And when you measured it, it measured it out. I mean, Mr. Jerry had the tape measure right out. Everything was coming out, but it was too long. So it meant that I had to tear that sashing piece apart, and I had to tear off, there was 2 end pieces, and there was 2 squares in between each of the 3 white sashings, which doesn't take that long. But when you've been sewing all day long and you just want to get it together, and my mind could not wrap it around, it was this whole quilt everything's been done on the diagonal. So when you put everything together, it was on the diagonal. So it'd be like this, or the square. And so when she had you put the final pieces together, you started out with the diagonal up on top. And then the next row built out, and then it goes back down till you have another diagonal on the bottom. Because when you get that all sewed, then you turn it around and you have a square. My mind and there was no instructions. It just said, just put rows together. And I'm looking at this thing thinking, okay, but do I do the sashing first? How do I do the end pieces that have the diamonds on it and stuff? And it was just like, oh. And when I came to that one part that I couldn't figure out, I said, that's it. I'm done. And so like I said, we got that part figured out, and it got tore apart, trimmed down, sewn back together, and then we laid it out on the table, and it was going to be close. It was going to be close. So I did get it sewed this afternoon, and it did work. So now I'm doing the bottom half, and you know, it's just been one of those days. It's like last night we sat up and watched the Super Bowl. I really could care less who won or not. It was football because my team wasn't in it, but it was football. But both teams, in my opinion, their defense came to play. It was the offense that wasn't, well, I shouldn't say that wasn't good. For the Patriots, the offense, that quarterback could not get a first down, it seemed like. And the Seahawks, of course, they ended up winning and everything. So football's done. And so I watched that, and then got up this morning, and my sinuses were hurting a little bit. I woke up with hot flashes, and because I deal with anxiety, I never know if it's the hot flash or it's the anxiety that causes the issues. It's probably the hot flash because it's mainly right here. And there's other side effects I get with it, and it was just uncomfortable. And I don't know what brought it on, except for, you know, I have a patch that I change every 3 days, and yesterday was one of the days I change it. And so I always seem to have something on that day and the next day. So this morning got up, and because the morning blew by. Oh, what did we do? We had our breakfast, our coffee, and everything, and shoot, I guess I didn't do too much. I did cross stitch all morning. I do remember doing that. I cross stitch on that piece, and I'm really liking the sampler. And so I stopped and did the treadmill, and we had lunch, and then I came in here to sew, and it is after 4:30. So but yeah, really the weekend was just spent in the sewing room. I tried making that English muffin bread that I made before. I tried it twice yesterday and had to throw away both of them. I don't know what was wrong. The first one, I did exactly like I did the first one, except for neither one of these rose enough. And one ended up being doughy in the center, and then Mr. Jerry decided to make chocolate chip cookies, and his cookie dough was so crumbly it was not holding together, and it's a recipe he does all the time. So there must have been something in the atmosphere, or I don't know. But other than that, I mean, we were home. We've been watching the Olympics. We've been watching curling, and whatever else is on right now. He's watching the women's hockey game. And so, but yeah, I'm just really enjoying that cross stitch. I forgot how much I enjoy cross stitching. And, but I also love knitting on socks, and I'm getting so that I'm really enjoying sewing. And so, but yeah, but this quilt, putting it together is big because the square blocks are 24.5 inches. So when you put 3 of them together with a 4-inch wide sashing with a half big block on the side. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I got it pinned, so. But that's what I mean. This was trying to figure out how to hook that thing on right there because it's that corner. So, but. So the white is the sashing, so. So this is ready to be sewn, that long sashing on it. And Nala's laying on the other square. Right, Miss Nala? Right? You laying on Mama's square. I need to sew on this. I need to sew on that. What? She doesn't have claws, so she's not going to hurt anything. You caught my hand. You caught it. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. So, I don't know what it is about that ironing table, but, you know, both cats have done it. And they just want, and maybe it's because it has the wool mat that's super thick underneath it, and now it's got the material that I've been handling, and they both really like that. So, but, we don't have anything planned this week, except for Mr. Jerry's going to go visit his mom tomorrow and go pick up at the auction. I won some half-gallon jars, 6 of them, supposedly they say brand new in a box. So if they're not brand new in the box, I'm going to tell him that, you know, no. Because they're brand new. They're supposed to be brand new. But I'll have him check them over to make sure that they're okay. Because that's what I use to store our extra sugars and, you know, wheat berries and all that stuff in. Well, the majority of them are out in the cold air in the garage. So, but other than that, I don't have too much more. So I'm going to let you go. Tonight's supper is going to be leftover taco soup. And Weight Watchers, it is 3 points because I'm on the diabetic plan. And so I have to count the corn that's in it. But it is navy beans, and it is lean beef, and diced tomatoes, and I have to think. We use beef broth, the low sodium. He did find some of that. And, oh, tomato soup. It is our tomato soup that we can. So it's all tomato juice, basically, that has been cooked way down. And then it has the spices added to it. And, of course, it also has certain spices in it, too. So technically, we probably wouldn't have to add any more spices to it because the tomato soup already has it in it. So, but, and then this corn. And so it's 3 points for a bowl full, which is like a cup and a half, something like that. And it makes 4 servings. So the full recipe would make 8. But I just know that I'll probably have to have Tums tonight. Because I'm sitting here thinking, you know, we put all these spices in the tomato soup, and then it has you add these other spices, but what we do is, oh, they want taco seasoning in it, and so I got homemade taco seasoning, and then it calls for chili powder. I told him, it says, don't put the chili powder in it because my taco seasoning has chili powder in it. So, but yeah, it's pretty good. Last year when we had all these extra tomatoes, we didn't know what we're going to do with. I said, well, I looked through the Ball book and said there is this one that you can can diced tomatoes, and he doesn't like usually tomatoes anything. And he said, okay, we'll try it. So I don't know how many we made. Probably a batch worth, probably 8. No, I think we ended up with 16 because there was enough to do that, because I was down to, we had done all the soup that we needed. We had done all the spaghetti sauce we needed. And I even cooked some down into tomato paste, and still had tomatoes. And so we did 16, and I thought, well, I'm sure that we'll have some use for it that we can try. Well, when I got that cookbook, she uses a lot of diced tomatoes and stuff in her soups. And he tried one, and he really liked it. And so we've used about half of it so far. So, but yeah, I know we won't have to do spaghetti sauce this year because we haven't used that much of it. And it's supposed to be spaghetti pizza, but the tomato soup we use a lot, and so far the diced tomatoes we've been using a lot too. So, but anyways, I'm going to let you guys go so I can go back out. I'm done sewing for the day, and go put the TV on in the sunroom because our grandson Landon has some highlights from his last game, and so I need to put that up on the TV so we can watch that and get this uploaded. There's not too much editing except for I re-listen to myself to make sure that what comes out is what I meant for it to be. So, but anyways, thanks for stopping by, my friends, and hopefully we'll meet up again on Tuesday, and we'll see what the day brings. See you soon.